Hello everyone, my name is Ashimedua Okonkwo. A lot of you know me as Medi. I am the principal of Cyril and Co Solicitors in Balbriggan, County Dublin. A lot of things have happened in the last couple of days, things that have shocked us to the core. And when I say us, I mean those of us in the African community. Things that have happened in the last couple of days are things that we never imagined. In fact, it's been unimaginable. And what I'm talking about is the fatal shooting of George Nkencho. I understand from everything I have read so far that George grew up in the Blanchardstown community, that he was a peace-loving boy, that he does not have any criminal records, and that he suffers from a mental health disability. The rest of the things that we have heard, we cannot come to terms with it. That he stabbed someone, that he was a threat to the Gardaí, that he went into a shop and punched the shop owner or the shop manager or something like that right in the face. He was walked home by the guards. We understand that there were 12 of them walking with him. In the process of walking with him, we are informed that a taser did not work to bring him down whilst he was wielding a knife, a bread knife, a machete, a sword. There are so many variations of these stories. But at the end of the day, George was running home to safety. He was gunned down at the doorsteps of his home. The first shot landed at his back. I asked that question. If a man's back is turned to you, how could he be a threat to you? At what distance was the taser used? At what distance was pepper spray used? Why was it that after the first shots, the shots kept coming? Eventually, there were 5 shots. The 5th one landing on him whilst he was disabled on the ground. What does that mean? That the guards were out to make sure that they really killed him? That the guards were out to make sure that they taught us a lesson as members of the migrant community? That the guards were out to say to us, mothers, behold your sons? The events of the last couple of days have been so traumatic. Many of us mothers who have young sons have been so alarmed. We fear for the safety of our boys. We fear when our boys go out that they may not come back home. We have heard so many things about the way that our boys are beaten up all the time. They are always wrong. It's amazing, you know, how our boys are always wrong. And yet you want our girls. Yet you want our food. Yet you want our clothes. And yet you don't want our boys. What's going on? We're a very peaceful community. We're all, majority of us, are working. And we are contributing to the Irish community. A lot of us are running your care homes. We are taking care of your elderly. We are taking care of your young. We are all working in the hospitals. We are a loving people. Why does this have to befall us? Why do we have to be singled out in this manner and treated in this manner? It is very important that we get equal treatment. We need equal treatment. There's a lot of protest going on right now in relation to justice for George. I would implore everybody who is undergoing this process right now and going through the protests to please observe all the requests by the government in relation to restrictions, in relation to social distancing, in order that you are not arrested. There are kind of statements that you can make during a protest. And if you make those statements, you may be arrested for inciting hatred. You may be arrested under a public order, offense that you are inciting a riot. So be very, very careful at this time. Remember that if you are arrested, you have a right to silence. You do not have to say anything, because anything you say may be used in evidence against you. Remember that if you are arrested, you have a right to representation by any solicitor. The Garda station should have a list of solicitors, and when you are arrested and taken to the Garda station, request for that list. If you are going to be interviewed, you must have a solicitor present.